You're watching WKYT News at Noon.
Welcome back in. A jury says a woman convicted of killing her boyfriend should spend 30 years in prison.
The decision in the Melinda Turner trial came just about 10 minutes ago. Last night, that same jury found her guilty of stabbing Maxwell Pomeroy to death in 2010. Jurors heard from a tearful Turner as well as Pomeroy's family before the deliberations began. Let's go to WKYT's Mark Barber live outside the courthouse as this story is unfolding. It's our top story at 12:30. Mark?
Good afternoon, Bill. It took the jury about an hour to return their recommendation of a 30-year sentence in prison. Now, Melinda Turner took the stand this morning. It was very emotional as she talked about her two children, her two grandchildren as well. And something that she also brought to the attention of jurors is a brutal attack that she says happened years ago where she was nearly killed after she was raped. Those were all things that her defense attorney asked the jurors to take into consideration before they made their recommendation. They were hoping that she would be sentenced to the minimum of 20 years. However, again, they returned that 30-year recommendation. Now, the jury found the 41-year-old guilty of murder yesterday after a 6-hour deliberation. This morning, as the jury heard their final statements, the Commonwealth's attorney started by listing more than a dozen of Turner's prior convictions. He also reminded them that Turner waited a couple hours to call police after she stabbed her boyfriend to death in 2010. Then he asked jurors to consider how she blamed 3 black men for killing her boyfriend. Turner's defense attorney focused on her family and how she started drinking more after she was brutally attacked by a man who was eventually convicted of rape. Two of the more emotional moments in court were when Pomeroy's mother took the stand and when Turner was asked what she would plan to do if she was released from prison.
No, because I don't know it. I don't even know if I'll still be alive. We're a close-knit family, and as a mother, I've had to watch my other 2 children suffer because they miss their brother so much.
Good afternoon. Now, it has already been a very long week for jurors who have been deciding how long she will spend in prison, but the day is still not quite yet over. They are still trying to figure out if they will label her as a persistent felony offender. They say this conviction now pushes her over into that category. Now, this afternoon, we are still trying to figure out if that will impact or play any sort of role on the possibility of parole. That's the latest here in Georgetown. I'm Mark Barber, WKYT.
All right, Mark, thank you. Another emotional moment in court was when Turner explained how both of her parents died within 30 days of each other back in 2009. Deputies have found a fugitive from Tennessee hiding behind a small refrigerator in a home in southern Kentucky in Laurel County. 51-year-old Rick James Brock is wanted on child rape and aggravated assault charges. That home belonged to Brock's brother. Deputies say they arrested Brock easily, but then he put up a fight when they tried to book him.
He was being processed, and at the time that he was being processed, I guess he realized the seriousness of the charges, and he actually assaulted one of our deputies and actually tried to flee the building, and he put up quite a struggle with our deputies and finally was taken into custody and lodged in the county jail.
Brock now faces charges in Kentucky as well. It is not clear when he will be taken back to Tennessee.
2 burglars caused serious damage to a gas station during an overnight break-in. The Garrett County Sheriff's Office says a man and woman backed an SUV into the Rocky Top shell. It was closed at the time. Nothing was stolen, but the break-in caused thousands of dollars in damage. Employees say the crime is puzzling.
They haven't had any issues at all. Him and Rocky Top, it's a family-owned and oriented. The town loves them. It has to be someone that either has a grudge or didn't know what they were looking for.
Well, the gas station owners are offering a $1,000 reward for the arrest of the 2 suspects. A Lexington business wants to help a woman recover a precious item. Nicole Breezeal's husband died a year ago. On the anniversary, she created a little free library that included books that were important to him. The box since disappeared. Now J&H Outdoors is offering a $500 reward for its return.
It was very moving, and that's why we would really love to offer the reward so that the original contents come back, because obviously it was very sentimental and it really meant something to her. So I feel like that's the most important thing is to get the original contents back to her as it was.
Brazil originally posted on Facebook about the box on Tuesday. The post has been shared more than 4,000 times, so hopefully that will result in her getting that sentimental box back.
Well, it's obviously very, very special to her.
Well, the day started with a little bit of flurries for some of us, but we're getting a break from the cold and snow, luckily.
Right. In fact, a weekend warm-up is on the way. It looks really good. Let's check in with WKYT meteorologist Micah Harris. He has an early check of the forecast. Micah?
Yeah, it is a bit chilly outside. It's still below average, but I think by the afternoon, some of us will actually hit the lower 40s. So it's not a bad feel, but it's still on that cooler side of things as opposed to what you're going to be feeling this weekend off into next week. Some of these clouds are really breaking apart. We're actually seeing a mixture of sun and clouds around here in Lexington. Really good look across the bluegrass. Southwest, you guys in the Cumberland region have been seeing a really good looking day. Here's the deal. You have a front, the cold front has already moved through. Winds coming out of the north and northwest, right? That's coming through us. It's pumping in that cooler air. But I want you to pay attention back toward the west, because here comes a warm front that's really fighting this cold front, and this takes over the next few days. And I'm talking about some big time warmer weather, and I'll show you how high we go and also the severe weather threat in that forecast coming up.
Okay, two things to watch for. Thank you, Micah. Two men wanted in connection to a church theft are behind bars now. London police arrested Joshua Buchanan and William North. Police say the pair broke into cars outside of 3 Whitley County churches during Sunday morning services earlier this month. Police used surveillance video to identify them as suspects. Police have recovered a stolen ferret. Berea police say that 20-year-old Richard Lavelle stole the animal from Adventure Pets last week. Police tell us Facebook helped them identify Lovell and a second suspect. They're working on getting a warrant for the second person. The ferret has been returned to the store. The hunt continues today for 3 inmates who escaped from a maximum security jail in California.
Last night, the Orange County Sheriff's Office arrested a 44-year-old woman who taught English at the jail. As William Longinus shows us, investigators say she provided the men with maps before their escape.
Police in Southern California are getting closer to figuring out the full story behind the dramatic escape of 3 inmates from a maximum security jail in Orange County. Late Thursday, they arrested a 44-year-old woman who works as an English as a second language teacher in the prison, saying she's connected to the jailbreak through alleged mastermind Hussein Nairi.
She provided Google Maps, those types of things to prepare for the escape. There was some type of relationship that developed between the two as a result of initially, which was a student-teacher relationship, and it developed into a closer relationship.
It was the first escape from the facility in more than 20 years. Officials say the men cut through a grate and climbed through tunnels to get to the roof.
The inmates made it up to this area, compromised this razor wire, and then rappelled down to the ground from here.
Investigators believe the 3 men are still together and still in Southern California and may be living in a white GMC Savannah van. Escaped inmate Bak Duwang stole during a test drive in Los Angeles on Sunday. Police now asking for the public's help in locating the men, posting signs offering a $200,000 reward and serving 36 search warrants on friends and family of the inmates.
A number of arrests have been made and continue to be made. Upwards of 10 arrests directly connected to the investigation have been made, and numerous other arrests related to probation and parole violations.
Last night, police raided an alleged front for an illegal casino in Orange County. The suspects had been known to visit in the past. In Los Angeles, William Longinus.
Well, the teacher has worked at the jail for the last 6 months. She's expected to make her first court appearance later today.
Trouble sleeping can increase the risk of serious disease.
Why only working out isn't enough if you're trying to lose weight. That's those stories and better living.
Today is Sarah's birthday. Mwah, mwah. And as a mom of 3, I wanted to give back to other parents.
We're surprising amazing single parents with unbelievable gifts. Plus, Boris Kojo. Cheryl can't even look at him. She's just talking to air right now. The Talk on CBS.
In these hard times, millions of Americans struggle to get by on low wages. Their difficult lives are made harder when they do the work they've been hired to do and their employers refuse to pay them for some hours but not all, or fail to pay overtime when hours exceed 40 in a week. This is called wage theft. It's real simple. Employers take money that belongs to their employees. If you have questions about wage theft or overtime violations, call us. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Up to now, affording a beautiful smile has been, well, sketchy. Doctors Durbin, Walks, and Garner are offering no down payment and only $175 for 24 months on orthodontic treatment. Now that's something to smile about. Learn more at clearchoicesmile.com.
Mohawk's new wear-dated nylon embrace carpet is soft, tough, and beautiful, and now affordable at 30% off. Hurry, these prices won't last long. Kevin's Carpets in Lexington and Georgetown. Well, you'd have to be crazy to buy flooring anyplace else.
Think you might be pregnant? No judgment, no pressure, just help. AssuranceCare.org.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, Lexington Overstock Warehouse is having our huge annual floor model sale. Don't miss this opportunity to grab new furniture and mattresses at a fraction of store prices. Save up to 80% off select display models. Come early to get your best selection. LexingtonOverstockWarehouse.com.
Considering bankruptcy? Call Atkinson, Sims & Kermode. Start your bankruptcy for only $78 now. Dial 859. Call ASK for your free consultation.
CBS Tonight, this pizza pioneer.
I've been a visionary for this industry.
Gets a slice of real life.
I hope he brought his big boy pants because he's going to need them.
But just.
This is a mistake, I'm telling you.
Can't.
I'm dying.
You got to push it, bro.
Cut it.
I got news for you. I'm not doing this.
What?
I'm not risking myself.
I'm done with him.
New Undercover Boss, CBS Tonight. Or stream it live or on demand.
She's alive.
That is definitely not me. Please don't do this.
Stay connected to the news that matters to you. WKYT. Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Actually, a pretty good looking day, finishing off with partly cloudy skies. Now, as we take your time off into the weekend, things are going to look and feel much different. I think the look, mostly sunny skies, so a few more clouds kind of disappear as we go off towards your weekend. But the feel, I mean, it's about 20 degrees higher than where we will be later on this afternoon. Upper 30s, lower 40s is what we can expect. And add about 15 to 20 degrees to that, and you're talking about 50s and even some 60s for the weekend. Sounds good. 36 degrees in Richmond. Nicholasville and Winchester looking just fine this afternoon. Going down south, 36 now in Pulaski County and Danville. Coming in Junction City, Perryville, you guys at 37 degrees. We'll finish off right around 40. Go off into your evening, no issues whatsoever. Morning time, a little chilly at 29 degrees, but look at the big time warm up. By 1 p.m., we're already nearing 50 degrees tomorrow. This is going to be a nice swing of temperatures as this warm front just kind of smooths right over us. Saturday, Sunday, we're talking low to mid 50s, even some upper 50s down south. So we'll call it 50s there for the weekend. And then we get off toward next week. That's when things start to even get warmer. So a great weekend in store. You got any plans? Stick to them. If you don't, probably want to make some plans. Get the kids out of the house. Take them out to the park later on this weekend. Let's talk about getting off toward your work week next week. 40 today, 50s the weekend, and then next week we're talking about 60s and even a 70-degree reading. This is a big system headed our direction. It'll throw some rain in the region there on Monday, but that's just showers. It's really Tuesday we have to be watching out for because the system on this, a lot of strong winds within this in the upper levels. It's going to be flying through, and it's taking a path that you do not want this time of year. When you're at 70 degrees early January, or early February that is, you know something is not right about the atmosphere, and it's not. So here comes some strong to potentially severe storms Tuesday, and then it knocks it back down to the 20s and 30s as we approach midweek, guys. But next 3 days look pretty calm. Actually really nice next 3 days. Not really active whatsoever. That's next week when we transition into seems like what, spring?
Yeah, well, we got
That's what it'll feel
For
like.
a day, anyway.
take advantage of the warm weekend for sure.
Absolutely. It looks good. Thank you. Disappointing news for people trying to lose weight.
And how lack of sleep is putting some women at risk. Jamie Yukas has details in this Better Living report.
New research from Harvard suggests women who have difficulty sleeping are much more likely to develop type 2 diabetes. Doctors tracked more than 133,000 patients. They found women with numerous sleep problems, such as snoring and waking frequently, were up to 4 times more likely to develop the condition. Just working out may not be enough to take off that extra weight. That's according to researchers at City University of New York. They found that people don't necessarily burn extra calories, even if they exercise more, and that focus on diet is also needed. And doctors at Johns Hopkins say people trying to learn a new skill, on the computer for example, do better when they change things up slightly during practice. Scientists say the process of combining new knowledge with memory is key to developing stronger motor skills. Those are some of the day's top health stories. Jamie Yukas, CBS News, New York.
Well, Lextran has expanded its Sunday service.
Find out what that could mean for riders coming up on WKYT.
Important message for women and men ages 50 to 85. Please write down this toll-free number now. Right now in areas like yours, people are receiving this free information kit for guaranteed acceptance life insurance with a rate lock through the Colonial Penn program. If you are on a fixed income or concerned about rising prices, learn about affordable whole life insurance with a lifetime rate lock that guarantees your rate can never increase for any reason. If you did not receive your information or if you misplaced it, call this number now and we'll rush it to you. Your acceptance is guaranteed with no health questions. Please stand by to learn more.
I'm Alex Trebek, and the announcement you just heard is for a popular and affordable life insurance plan with a rate lock guarantee. That means your rate is locked in for life and can never increase. Did you get your free information kit in the mail? If not, please call this toll-free number now. In the last month alone, thousands have called about this plan with the rate lock guarantee through the Colonial Penn program. And here's why. This plan is affordable, with coverage options for just $9.95 a month. That's less than 35 cents a day. Your rate is locked in and can never go up. And your acceptance is guaranteed. You cannot be turned down because of your health. See how much coverage you can get for just $9.95 a month. Call now for your free information kit. Don't wait. Call today.
Call 1-800-909-4488 for your free information and free gift. There's no obligation. That's 1-800-909-4488. Or visit us online at colonialpenn.com. That number again is 1-800-909-4488. Call now.
I wasn't too thrilled about dentures, but I need to be able to chew. So I called Aspen Dental. They got me right in because my visit was long overdue. And no one on staff even made me feel bad that I hadn't been in since the leg warmer fad. My new dentures came with a great guarantee, so this giant pretzel's got nothing on me.
With dentures starting at $3.99 and a money-back guarantee, dentistry's never been easier. Call 1-800-ASPEN Dental.
Meredith and her crew are having some serious fun.
Oh, geez! What is going on here?
It's always unexpected.
We never know, right?
You are good. And totally unpredictable.
It's only vodka. You gotta spill the beans. Yes, Meredith.
The Meredith Vieira Show.
It's really good. I'm feeling at home here.
Every weekday.
Weekdays at 2 on the CW Lexington.
Welcome back to WKYT News. Lexington now has Lextran with expanded service on Sunday. For passengers, that means increased coverage with less travel time.
And Jill Barnett, Lextran Director of Community Affairs, is here with some details on this new addition to the service.
Hi.
Good to see you. What enhancements are coming to the service? This is already in effect,
It's already
right?
in effect, actually. It started at the beginning of the month. So Sunday service, previously we operated what our passengers know as combo routes. So what that means is that you would start downtown and go out on your trip, out, for example, for Sales Road, and then you would come in, say, via Harrodsburg Road. So if you lived on the opposite side of the street where the bus was traveling, it could make your trip really long. And the workforce has changed. There's more and more people working on Sundays, or just working every other day, and they only have Sunday to do their personal errands. So we saw this as a need for our passengers, and so we separated the combo routes, and they can just go out one way and come right back.
So there's obviously an increased demand for something like this. Where can people go if they need information on the bus routes and times? And
Sure.
like that?
All of our bus schedules are available on our website, which is lextran.com. They can also pick up a hard copy schedule at any of our office locations, which is Loudon Avenue and downtown on Vine Street, which is where the buses transfer. They're also at many government offices and public libraries.
Now, you have also added some service to UK Healthcare and to Turfland Mall, where there are some new things going on.
Yes, and that is a response to some customer feedback that we had received since UK moved some of their healthcare facilities over there. Previously, the bus stop was in front of Chick-fil-A. There is actually still a bus stop there, but that was their only option. And over the last couple of months, we worked with the property developer to make some improvements to the driveway entrance there to better allow our bus to get onto the property. So now the bus stop is really just right around the corner from the entrance to the healthcare. So, you know, we've gotten good feedback from passengers already, so we're excited about that.
And LexTran.com is a place where people can go for more information.
Absolutely.
On all that.
Or give us a call at 253-INFO. We've got all the answers.
Typically, is winter busier or summer, spring? What season are you busiest?
Ridership does pick up a little bit in the winter, which is not necessarily what you might expect, but you know, as it gets colder, people are less inclined to walk the distance that they might normally just think, you know, it's a nice day, I'll just get out and enjoy it. And particularly when we have events like we had last week when it snows, we hear from people who don't normally ride the bus and just don't want to drive their car and give us a call and try to figure it out.
Nice to get on a nice warm bus.
Absolutely.
Right? Okay.
Let somebody else drive in the weather.
Well, it's good to see you. Thanks for coming in. LexTran.com again for more info. All right, question. How do you keep your kids engaged at home?
We've got some creative and fun ideas for you after the break.
Hello everyone, Amber Canoy here from MomsEveryday.com. We're over at Lexington Diagnostic Center and Open an MRI with Dr. Robert Pope. And I am curious, as a mom, you know, kids looking to get into some sports and everything, you've got to be seeing a lot of injuries, especially with teenage athletes. What are some of those injuries?
Yeah, we do actually with sports. We see everything from falls, broken bones, to torn knees, torn meniscus, torn ACL, injuries in the shoulders, such as torn labrum, torn rotator cuffs. So we offer MRI, CT, ultrasound. We do arthrography. So pretty much any kind of needs that you would have for advanced imaging, we do.
Is there an age limit for like how old my kid needs to be to get in?
No, we do them all.
All right, for more information, you all can go online to momseveryday.com.
The hottest name in late night is talking to the biggest names in politics.
I'm like a kid in a candy store. Who's paying for the candy?
The Late Show with Stephen Colbert.
This is the first interview that we've actually.
That's true.
I was playing a character who did not care for you.
I can say it now, it was mutual.
Where newsmakers make news.
I've said a few things about you over the years.
Some nice things. Not too much.
Weeknights, only CBS.
My phone rang at home and it was Bill going, "Hey, what would you think about teaming up?"
We were both good at doing what we knew how to do.
We were not businessmen. We were landscapers. The first two accountants just said, "I don't know what to do with you guys."
One of our consultants connected us with Traditional Bank.
Traditional Bank has always had a team member running with us.
Great people, love working with them. They always say, "Thank you for your business."
While some airports offer a few flights to a few places a few days a week, Louisville International offers daily flights to more of the places you want to go. You can get there from there, eventually. Or you can see where we can take you. Visit us today.
My hospital bills were over $300,000. As soon as I got the first bill, I contacted Becker and I was like, "Is there anything that you guys can do with it?" And they was like, "We'll handle it." They talked to the hospitals to try to get it knocked down as best as they could. Whenever I found out that they knocked my bills down from about $300,000, I was just thankful. It's a relief.
Serious, experienced, results. Call the Becker Law Office. Just dial 3s.
When you play Kentucky lottery games like Cash Ball, college students all over Kentucky cash in.
Fueling imagination.
Funding education.
Get WKYT News and Weather Updates on Wild 1039. Stay connected to the news that matters to you, like WKYT on Facebook.
Welcome back in.
Yeah, I hope you're having a good afternoon. Many parents were in this situation last week trying to find those kids engaged, not have the cabin fever too much while they were at home. But that does not only apply to snow days.
Right, they need something to do in the wintertime. And Jennifer Hunter is the assistant extension professor at UK, here to talk about why it is important to have some things and some ideas. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you all for having me.
Why is it important, and a good thing really, to keep kids engaged at home, not just sitting around, it's a snow day.
Right, and I think as parents we're all guilty of occasionally turning on the TV and trying to sneak in some laundry or dishes or whatever it may be. And it's important to understand that's okay, that every once in a while we need a little bit of time to get things done at home. But when our children are home for an extended period of time, we want to make certain that we're keeping them engaged. Not only is it good for them to keep their creativity flowing, and we can reinforce some life skills while at home, but then the more engaged they are during the day, the less likely we are to have sibling fights or they'll get cranky. That the more we can keep them in some type of routine where they're actively using their mind, then the more likely they are to be in better spirits throughout the day.
So what are some specific activities that...
Well, it's always good to have a plan, and so as you mentioned, going into last week with the snow days, as we've all kind of gone through that cabin fever, now that we've moved out of it, it's time to plan ahead for the next time. And so fun things that you can do at home with your kiddos that are very low cost. Example would be just plan a treasure hunt around your house. Make some clues up for your little ones, have them find one envelope and the next envelope, and at the end you can have some type of little prize for them. And that's something you can do if you just have one, or if you also have multiple children at the house. Other fun things you can do is indoor camping. That's a favorite of my little one. She loves to build forts and tents and all that. And their creativity can just go wild inside there. They can, build a little pretend fire and tell stories. And as we think about other things, story time is also a great one. Not only reading books to your children, but allowing them to make the story. So just start with once upon a time, and then let their imaginations go with different words and different themes.
That's a great idea.
Just to keep them engaged.
Facebook.com MoneyWise for more information. One of the ideas I loved was have your own TV show.
Yes,
I didn't know that was still in style. I used to do that when I was a kid. Hard to imagine,
right? I'm sure you did, Bill.
Let's check in with Micah before we go and see what's going on as far as that weekend forecast. It's a warm one.
Yeah, it does look really good. We get into the rest of the afternoon and we'll be roughly 40 degrees. Off into the evening, no problems whatsoever if you have any plans. Tomorrow morning, a little bit chilly. Then we get into the afternoon, 49 degrees at 1 p.m. That means we'll be in the 50s tomorrow afternoon, and that'll take you through the weekend and into next week. Now, there's a lot to talk about with 70-degree temperatures and also some severe weather. Chris Bailey, he'll be in here at 4 p.m. to talk about that.
All right, and that is WKYT News at noon. Thank you so much for being along. Next news is at 4.
We hope you enjoyed this.